Good.
All right, we're happy to be 2-0. Really proud of the way this team came out and set the tone early against Incarnate Word. Felt like on all three phases we did a lot of good things. Sometimes after a game that we had the previous week before that, it's challenging to get back up after a rivalry game and prepare the right way in order to, face a good football team. So I was really proud of the way our guys prepared this past week. And like we said, their character and how they prepare is going to, eventually that's going to show the results. And I feel like that's the reason we had success on all three sides of the ball. Glad we were able to continue our success at home. Our Apogee's changed a lot in my last 3 years here, and I feel like our fans have been huge, and the environment's been great, and I feel like it's definitely becoming one of the best stadiums in Conference USA, and our fans have a lot to do with that. They've been tremendous. Being 2-0 for the first time since 1994 is something that we take great pride in. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean much if we don't continue to prepare the right way, reset, making sure we're every single week preparing the way that we need to prepare in order to have success in the weekend. And so when it's all said and done, yeah, there's a lot to be proud of. First time 2-0 since 1994. But at the end of the day, all we're trying to do is go 1-0 every single week. And I think if you prepare that way and you focus in that way after the season, you count them all up and kind of see where you're at. And I think our guys are really doing a great job of understanding that and resetting every single week. We know we have a tremendous challenge in front of us at Arkansas. It's never easy. It's not easy for any teams to go into the SEC on the road and win at those type stadiums. And so it'll be a great challenge for us. But I know this team is excited about the opportunity they have facing a good Arkansas team. The biggest thing that we have to do is make sure that we prepare for that situation and that venue, but at the same time make sure it doesn't become a distraction. And the biggest things that we can do is, we have to focus in on the things that we can control and, make sure that, we execute as good as possible on all three phases. With that, I'll open it up.
Going into, like you said, SEC road game, y'all's first road game of the year, what have y'all done to try to prepare your players, and what can you take away from last year's Iowa game as well?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of returners and some experience there that have been on the road and have played in some big venues, and I think some of that will help, not being as young as maybe we have been in the previous couple of years, but also just continuing to work on crowd noise, having to make sure your communication's great on all three phases, and understanding that you're going to have to feed off each other more than ever. You're not going to have that home crowd behind you and, feeding you full of energy and, getting that excitement. So you're going to have to feed off each other and make sure that just like every week you come out, trying to be the most excited team to play and make sure you're focused in on each other and the things that we can control.
How big of an opportunity is this for a program like North Texas to go play a Power 5 school? That's not something you get a chance to do every week.
Yeah, they're all great opportunities, and again, it's we always love challenging games and facing great opponents, and again, being on the road in the SEC at a great stadium with they're going to pack it out and be loud and should be a lot of energy, and so that's what you come to. You want to play in big time games as a football player in any program you go to. So again, this is an opportunity for us to go out there and kind of see how we match up and measure up.
They used two quarterbacks in the last couple games. That, along with their run game, what have you seen from their offense just preparing for this game so far?
I think they're really physical up front, running the ball really well. Again, after two games, you can see they're going to get more and more comfortable. The more reps they get within the system, and some of it, again, haven't had to do it the last couple of years. Just figuring out how your team works and building trust between the coaches and players. Again, I think they're playing hard. They're a very physical football team, and you can tell as it goes they're getting more and more comfortable. And Coach Morris does an unbelievable job. Them and their staff. We have a lot of we're very familiar with each other and haven't played against them, and he does a tremendous job. And so there's no doubt in my mind he'll have them well prepared this week and playing with a lot of energy. And again, it'll be a very challenging task for us. But again, that's why you come to play. I mean, you look forward to games like this and have the opportunity to compete.
Offensively, Colorado State had some success against them last week, especially through the air. What can y'all take away from their performance and what y'all been able to do over the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, playing on the road for the first time is challenging, right? And so they were on the road, and, you know, again, came up a little bit short, but they competed hard, I think, on all three phases. And again, you know, I think that, you know, they're doing some really good things, and it's more about every week's different, you know. You reset every single week and you prepare every single week. I don't look at, you know, past success or past failures from us and or any team that we match up against. I really don't look into it much on that. I know that they're going to be well prepared this week, and again, it'll be a great challenge for us.
Having faced Chad Morris a couple of times in this program, can that be a help knowing what they do, and also can it be a hindrance knowing what you guys do?
Again, it's ball. You know, every year you're having to face the same opponents within your conference, whether you're a rivalry. You know, just because you know them a little bit better. I mean, you're always going to have different wrinkles here and there, different strengths and weaknesses year in and year out. And so, you know, I think it helps at times to be familiar, but at the same time, both of us are familiar with each other. And to me, it's more about going out and making sure we execute on all three phases, and the team that executes the best will probably have the success.
What would a win over a Power 5 conference team do for a North Texas program like this?
Again, every win's huge. Continues to, you know, keep us on track to make sure we reset and accomplish the mission that week. So they're all big, and I can't say that you know, it wouldn't be a great opportunity to win the football game. Yes, but at the same time, you can't ever get too high, you can't ever get too low. You know, this winning or losing this game will not define our season. To me, it's more about how are we maximizing our abilities and our opportunities every single week, and again, counting them all up at the end of the year.
Can it be used as a measuring stick, though, to where your program is?
Sure, they all are. They're all measuring sticks, and you know, again, every single game, you go out there and compete, and some weeks better than others. Again, some matchups are, you know, depending on scheme or how the matchups fit. Every team is a little bit different, so they're all measuring sticks. And again, really got to focus more in kind of what we're doing and how we're executing.
What is it that stands out about Arkansas when you look at them on film?
Big physical. I mean, they're a big physical team that they play hard. Again, you can. I mean, the coaching staff does an unbelievable job. Their schemes are, you know, really sound. But yeah, overall, I just think they're a big physical football team, and you know, they got some athletes that can definitely be explosive. They're going to be big up front. Got good linebackers who can run and strike you. Again, I'm not really as focused in more about them as I am just trying to execute our stuff.
What's your impression of their quarterback situation? They've, you know,
I don't have an impression of their quarterback situation. I have to worry about our quarterback situation.
Hamilton has gotten off to a good start to the year. What have you seen from him, and what has he brought to this team, especially on the?
A lot of energy. I think he's playing, you know, confident. You know, just being in the system for another year. You can, and not only Hambone, but you can really see it from a lot of our defensive guys. You know, just another year in this system, how much faster they're playing. You know, I think they're hitting their pressures better. You know, and just. Again, it's just getting more comfortable, not only with the system, but just getting another year of maturity. And but he plays with a lot of energy. He loves the game. He's always, you know, out there, excited, and you know, he's doing some really good things for us. But he'll tell you as quick as anybody, there's still a lot of room for improvement, and he's nowhere near where he wants to be yet. But I like how he's playing.
How have you seen him grow as a player just over these 3 years that you've been here and you've been?
Yeah, again, you know he had the talent. And, you know, coming in as a linebacker, having to make an adjustment to you know, being more of a defensive lineman, and He's really adjusted well, but I think some of that, the bigger, stronger, faster you get in the weight room with Coach Womack in the off season, still has some areas to improve in that department. But at the same time, I think a lot of it's just maturity. You knew he had the talent and the mental toughness to be a special player, and he's doing a great job working and maturing and growing, and just continuing to get better every single day, like we talk about.
Arkansas really committed to the run last week, and you guys seem to have been playing better against the run. Do you guys need to continue that trend this week, and how do you go about it?
Yeah, it's something that I think good football teams, first and foremost, they're physical up front, and it all starts up front, and being able to stop the run and try to get them behind the chains and off their rhythm. But at the same time, just as important as for the defense, you got to be able to be physical and run the ball on offense as well. I mean, that a lot of the times will depend on how successful you're going to be overall. So we take great pride in it. We've been besides a couple runs this past week that caught us, I think we've been pretty solid against the run, and we definitely got to continue that trend this week in order to have success.
What's the status of Murray and Mose going into the week? Do you guys have a feeling of whether they'll be able to play?
Yeah.
Jamie King had a very solid game last week. What have you seen from him in that position on y'all's defense?
Really been consistent. We moved him over from tight end this past spring, just trying to build some depth there. He's always been a guy that has worked extremely hard. He's really intelligent, so I think he picked up the defense very well and continues to. As smart as he is, I mean, it's easy to coach him in the sense of when he goes out there he's going to do the right things. But at the same time, he competes at a high level. I'm really proud of the way he's embraced it and competed, because it's been a challenge of going over there. Got a lot of guys in front of you, have a ton more reps than you have had, and he's put in a lot of work, not only on the field but in the film room and with his coaches. And it's exciting to see a guy like that who's bouncing over, playing a new position to help this football team, and then now competing to where he's not only getting in the rotations but playing very significant a lot of time, and he's only going to get better. Really excited again. He's a great teammate too. I mean, that's you're always rooting for guys like that who do it the right way, and whatever we ask him to do, I promise he's going to do it for the team. And so it's exciting to see him go out there and play well.
What was it about him that you looked at him and thought, okay, this guy would be a fit for that jack linebacker position?
He has good length, and he's a physical kid. Just watching him, block as a tight end and coming in, we were impressed. A lot of the things he was doing at tight end. We didn't move him because he wasn't able to play that position. We felt like he could probably get on the field quicker at that position, and needed that for some depth issues we were maybe going to have. But at the same time, I think it's just a good fit. Again, he's embraced it, and I think it's really been the best move for him.
Does he just have some natural ability in terms of pass rush?
Yeah, I mean, again, he's a good football player, and he's had to grow into that. He's had to kind of relearn a new position, and it's not like it just showed up. He's put in a lot of work to be able to do it. A lot of guys have natural abilities, but you still got to continue to work and develop your technique and your skill set. So he's done a good job of continuing to do that.
Obviously, this will be a unique game for Cole, going back to face a team that he played for a few years ago. Well, actually, not even a few years ago, not that long ago. What do you tell Cole going into a game like this?
Keep doing the things you're doing. I'm not focused in on it. To be honest with you, I haven't thought about it, but he just needs to keep doing the things he's been doing. He's continued to, have great practice habits and kicking the ball well. He's confident. And whether you're at home or on the road, just keep kicking the ball in between those two yellow things, right in the middle of them.
Have you just been happy with the way he's settled in here so quickly? And
yeah, anybody that comes in and transfer and just getting in to be a part of our family, and he's really embraced our culture, and as our players have embraced him, and he's done a great job of you know, again, putting in the work and you know, making sure that you know, he continues to grow within with his technique, and he's done a good job. So you know, we're fortunate to have Cole. He just needs to continue to, just like every other player on the team, continues to do the things necessary in order to have success, and that's your in-week preparation.
Yeah, John was mentioning the other day that he just seems to have found a comfort zone here. Have you sensed that from him, that he just feels good about where he's at and just the situation?
I feel that way. Again, I think he's I think he has really embraced our culture, and our family has really embraced him, and that's part of it. Just building those relationships, and I think the more relationships you have within the locker room and with your coaches, the more comfortable you get, and that's everyone. So, you know, we're definitely comfortable with him, and I feel like he's at a spot where he's very comfortable, and he's confident, and you know, you got to give Coach Biaggi a lot of credit as well, you know, as coach, and the things that they've worked on together has transitioned out on the field on Saturdays. So,
how did it end up working out with him coming over here as a graduate transfer?
Like any graduate transfer, he you know, saw the opportunity to come in here and be able to compete and get his master's and get a great education, but at the same time be able to compete for a position and have an opportunity to help this team succeed. But how all the rest of it worked, I mean, you probably have to ask him what kind of his thought process was on that.